The new administration has a host of issues to tackle as it enters office this coming May. Among them is COVID-19 as well as its related repercussions. For more, I have Swa back at the desk. Swa.
Hi again, Sunny.
Right, so we're hosting a presidential election amid a pandemic that looks to take priority on the new president's to-do list, right, sir?
Right, Sunny. It's uncertain for now how the COVID-19 situation will look like in May once the new administration takes office. Now, what's almost certain, though, is that the impact of this health crisis, which has gone on for more than 2 years, will linger and will have to be dealt with as a major priority by the next government. Now, more on this in my report.
Korea's pandemic response was inevitably a topic that was high on the list of pledges by the country's presidential candidates for the March 9th election. What all of them agree with is that our virus prevention measures took a heavy toll on ordinary citizens as well as small businesses, in the latter case, especially financially.
The people had to take on too many responsibilities for the country due to COVID-19, so we have to make up for their losses in the past, and also the losses they may incur in the future.
Because the losses have been inflicted upon the self-employed and micro-businesses owners by state policies, they need to be swiftly compensated in accordance with the Constitution.
The two leading candidates, Lee Jae-myung of the ruling Democratic Party and Yoon Suk-yeol of the main opposition People Power Party, have different opinions on how to help those who suffer damages. Lee wants to provide universal COVID-19 relief funds, while Yoon says cash handouts should be focused on assisting those who were affected the most by pandemic restrictions. Shim Sang-jung of the minor Progressive Justice Party vowed to overcome the COVID-19 crisis by calling on the wealthy to bear a greater burden of the pandemic impact. Almost half of the nation's people believe that the next administration's focus should be on revitalizing the economy. 46.7% of 1,021 respondents aged 18 and above said so, according to this recent survey. When asked about how to alleviate economic uncertainties stemming from COVID-19, 39.5% said through stabilizing prices, followed by stabilizing real estate supply at 31.8%. In a different survey, improving the real estate market and support for COVID-19 damages were the top two policy tasks that were sought by the respondents. Economy and pandemic challenges are likely to go hand in hand with the upcoming administration. Further tasks also lie ahead for healthcare and medical policies. Expanding public health services and increasing the number of doctors and other medical personnel is a view that is shared by major candidates. The DP's Lee Jae-myung is looking for the establishment of a national graduate school of health and medical science, while rivals Yoon Suk-yeol and Shim Sang-jung have leaned towards bolstering the country's existing medical schools. The next administration will also have to consider whether to maintain or revise Moon Jae-in Care, a policy to expand health insurance coverage. It has been found that the prolonged pandemic reduced the use of medical services, leading to a surplus in the state health insurance. Policies to expand research and development in the biotech and pharmaceutical industries will likely be addressed as well. The Democratic Party and Justice Party promised to secure vaccine sovereignty, and the People Power Party vowed to designate the biopharmaceutical industry as one of Korea's 5 strategic sectors. The Korea Pharmaceutical and Biopharma Manufacturers Association says aggressive spending is required for Korea to elevate its status as a pharmaceutical powerhouse, in line with the outgoing administration's goal to become a vaccine hub to not only deal with COVID-19, but also prepare for future health crises in the long term. After all, what's expected from the new president is a coherent post-pandemic response. Kwon So-ah, Arirang News.
Right, now, as you reported in your story, that is, pandemic-related tasks remain on the table for the incoming administration. But what are some of the more urgent issues that need to be addressed amid the spread of Omicron?
Well, Sunny, first, the incumbent Moon Jae-in administration will have some final tasks in regards to handling with the current COVID-19 situation, getting the nation's people safely through the elections, of course, and also the Omicron peak that's expected to happen within 2 or 3 weeks if earlier predictions prove to be right. So the transition period, thus preparation time, will be crucial as it's not certain how many infections exactly we'll be seeing in the coming weeks, how many people will be in critical condition, and also whether medical capacity will be strained or not.
Right, and there are also questions too about who will be appointed to lead the next administration's response to the pandemic, right?
Right, Sunny, and depending on who is elected, there might be drastic changes and maybe not. Presidential candidates have been critical of the Moon administration's handling of the Omicron variant, although credit was also given by some for the government's response to the pandemic in the early stages when Korea focused on aggressive testing, tracing, and treatment. The next administration taking power may also come with new officials being appointed in the Health Ministry, the Drug Ministry, the KDCA, as well as a panel of government officials and experts that is in charge of finding ways to live with COVID-19 measures, which have been suspended just a month after its introduction in November last year. So if Omicron turns out to be the last big hurdle in this pandemic, what the next administration will have to contemplate on is how to lift social distancing measures and also how to allow citizens to safely return to their normal lives.
Right, I'm sure a return to any form of normality will be welcomed by all. So thank you very much for your report.
My pleasure. See you on Thursday.